Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. Let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show.
Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It's Tuesday. Oh my God. It's Tuesday, January 17th. Golly. Good morning, crew. It is Tuesday, December 17th, and we are back with another show, heavy loaded show. We got local news and hot topics. And y'all know I am me. I can only do this show the way I know how to do it. And so I'm going to kick this show off talking about none other than Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes, I was absent yesterday, and I have, we going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. But thank y'all for being here this morning. We got so much to get into today. Shout out to the members, shout out to the moderators, shout out to the new subscribers to the channel. Thank y'all for being here, and thank y'all for joining the membership. I think our membership is currently at 52 members. My goal was 50. We have 52. So you notice I started pushing content, putting things over to our membership live. So I'll be doing more unscripted things over there, just candid moments. I might drop down, record on my phone. So make sure you join that membership, being the members. And if you have not yet done so, give me a hug by hitting that like button. Give me some love. Let me know you enjoy being here. And if you want to wait and hold your like to see what this show is going to be all about, I understand. But please know that all likes matter during, before, or after. And if you are not a subscriber of the channel, my only question is, what are you waiting for? Please consider subscribing to my channel and turn on those notifications so you'll know when that next video drops. And also, if you feel, compelled to send me some love, you can always do so by sending a cash app to $Roman L. Jackson. All proceeds, everything goes to support me and the channel. And I appreciate everything you all do here. It's always a pleasure to come and kick it up with the crew and chat, have some crew time. So without further ado, let's get into this show. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I can't say it enough. Good morning, y'all. Please, before we even go anywhere, forgive me because yesterday I had a whole live schedule. Now, just to show you that I had a whole live schedule, I want you to see this thumbnail for yesterday's show. And you'll see it kind of has some of today's show, but I had to change it because yesterday was not a good day for me. I don't know why on MLK K's day yesterday, I woke up in a horrible mood. I was in a bad mood. So this was the thumbnail for yesterday. I had King, and we were going to talk about other topics, and I just didn't come live for a number of reasons. One, I overextend myself all the time. I overextend myself. So yesterday, the Enoch Pratt Library that's near me, they were having a prayer breakfast. I signed up to be a volunteer. Now, when I sign up to volunteer to do stuff, I want to show up at the time, which was 10 o'clock, do what I got to do and leave. I don't expect y'all wanting me there at 8 a.m. to do pre-setup work. I didn't sign up for that. So that pissed me off when I got a call from them saying, hey, you're late. I'm late to volunteer. Oh, okay. All right. So bad mood. That was just a net. I don't know. And I didn't get any sleep. I've been partying all weekend. I stayed kicking it with Lady Snoop the other night on her channel, up all night. So I woke up Monday like I can't. My dog looking at me. I'm looking at him like I ain't trying to walk either. So then after that, we had the MLK parade. I helped with that. And then I decided that I was going to help clear the blighted communities with some fellow brothers. And it was too cold for that. My snot running down my nose. I was dressed for a parade, not to be cleaning up. So I had a bad day yesterday. Charged it to the game. So I didn't come live yesterday. I shared my video from last year in dedication to MLK, but that I don't have to stop there. I don't have to celebrate, just talk about him yesterday. So we're gonna get into some things today. Trust me, it isn't gonna be boring, but I'm gonna talk about MLK like I know how to do. Good morning, chat. Good morning, Brick Girl. Hey, good morning. M. Renee, good morning. Is that Aisha? Good morning. It is good to see you. Don't do the fur baby like that. Yeah, we wasn't seeing eye to eye. Then eventually when I got home, I took him and we went running. We went for a good run. So yeah, I just overextended myself. It was just a lot yesterday. It was a hell of a lot yesterday. But along those lines, okay, I wanted to talk about Martin Luther King. I wanted to share a video clip of Martin Luther King as our message of today. And let me pull this video up. I want to share as our message of today. And he talks about something specific that I want to break down. Now I know, everybody, it's not the I Have a King speech, but it's a message on something that we go through oftentimes, a lot of times, and we just don't realize it. So if you don't mind, check this message out. It's a really good message. It's from MLK. I'm going to break it down after.
The problems of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical redistribution of political and economic power.
We read one day, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if a man doesn't have a job or an income, he has neither life nor liberty and the possibility for the pursuit of happiness. He merely exists. That we spend $322,000 for each enemy we kill in Vietnam, while we spend in the so-called war on poverty in America only about $53 for each person classified as poor. The other thing I want you to understand is this, that it didn't cost the nation one penny to integrate lunch counters. It didn't cost the nation one penny to guarantee the right to vote. But now we are dealing with issues that cannot be solved without the nation spending billions of dollars and undergoing a radical redistribution of economic power. Yes. All labor has dignity.
Yes.
But you are doing another thing. You are reminding not only Memphis, but you are reminding the nation that it is a crime for people to live in this
rich nation and receive starvation wages.
I wanted to sort of kick off MLK Day yesterday with that message about economic disparities. And a lot of times people don't realize that they are in an economic disparity situation, not simply because of who they are, of their own financial doing or their own educational doing. It's simply because of the color of your skin. And a lot of times we don't see that. So I wanted to break that down. One thing I wanted to tell you all is that a lot of the racial disparities are exacerbated starting in higher education. Black high school students are less likely to attend colleges and universities. When they do, they are more likely to drop out without degrees and leave carrying a higher debt burden. I didn't drop out, but I got I have a lot of debt that I have to work down on in my terms of my student loans. But that's another burden that a lot of Black families face. It's costly to go to school, costly for your education. Um, MLK also talked about Black households are 2.4 times more likely than white households to live in urban tracts, food deserts, medically underserved, or facing a provider shortage, and characterized by high housing and transportation costs. Some 2.7 million Black residents live in these types of urban environments. And then you realize why it takes me so much gas to get to the places that I need to get to, because they're not building them in the communities where it's friendly, it's easier for you to get to, it's accessible, it's affordable. It's not by nature, it's all by design. It's a racial disparity, and it's a economic disparity that we also have to look at. It's not just race, it's also targeting folks economically, and I wanted to talk about this. Also, tax policing policy. So two major line items: the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit. Now, while they benefit low income and mothers who file their taxes, here's the thing, right? When you compare that to how white Americans utilize real estate holdings, employer benefit packages, investment portfolios, and family wealth, and compare that to how we take advantage of the earned income tax credit and child tax credit, there's a 60% difference. Most people who are benefits of maybe a tax check, a tax refund, 60% of those who get the higher end of that are those who are, claiming the highest income in their quartile. But not only that, it's those who are in real estate holdings. We don't have a lot of folks that are in real estate holdings. And when we do, we get out. Like we saw the family in California, the Black Beach family. We get out. It's too costly. We don't want to go through that. So you see a lot of these loopholes in the tax policies. Black Americans would have received at least 35 billion more in tax breaks if we were to be equitable across the lines, in terms of your income parity. Another thing is that Black workers are disproportionately represented in low wage occupations and underrepresented in higher wage occupations. Now we know that, but a lot of times when you see that, the median wage for all U.S. workers is around 42,000 per year, but 43% of Black workers earn less than 30,000 per year. And that's still these are facts of today. And I preface this by MLK's speech from 1968 and on and beyond. And we're here today facing some of these economic disparities, along the lines of race, So I wanted to bring this message out. And here's another thing. We estimate a 220 billion annual disparity between Black wages today and what they would be in a scenario of full parity. Achieving this scenario would boost total Black wages by 30% and draw approximately 1 million additional Black workers into employment. And another thing was Black owned businesses would generate 1.6 trillion more than they do today. First, if the Black share of business ownership matched the Black share of the population, there are 615,000 more enterprises that would exist, potentially generating 1 trillion in revenue, assuming current relative levels. Second, if Black owned firms match the average scale of their industry peers, they will add another 600 billion in revenue. So there's clearly a disparity, when it comes to not only, education, attaining education, households, food deserts, policies, tax policies, but there's a disparity in also Black owned businesses achieving loans, being sustainable past the 5-year mark. A lot of times you'll find Black owned businesses First year, it might be great. Second year might be great. But once that third, fourth, and fifth year, it goes down because that's the period of growing, expanding your operation. And a lot of businesses have a lot of time getting the capital to do so, to go to the next level. So I wanted to share that with you all. MLK and his speech, and sort of show you how some of those things are still existing today. Not just I have a dream and one day that I'm going to be living next to my white neighbors. No, it's deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than that. And when you start pulling back the layers, you'll notice not only do we see it, day to day violence, but you also see it in the way in which we all live economically. I go to a grocery store out in Columbia. It's so far away, but it's one of the healthiest grocery stores near me. I live down in a downtown community. The next one is in a far, far neighborhood that is far expensive. So just wanted to talk about that. Shout out to the crew. Hey, Sticks Girl. Hey, what up, Slim Body Benz? Good morning, good morning. Now I want to get into, some announcements, some positive news. So there's this statue of MLK that has been resurrected in Boston. Now here's the statue. This is what the statue looks like. Now it's been getting a lot of bad reviews. They're calling it a woke MLK penis statue. That's what they're calling this statue. And the statue was supposed to be a picture of this MLK and Coretta Scott King hugging. So you see the arms like that. So they tried to replicate the arms. Well, when you get close up, this is what it looks like. People are like, is that a penis? Children standing under it are quoted as saying, is that a penis? This is what it looks like from above. And for me, I find it to be completely distasteful. Why we can get all of these colonizers, these earlier establishments, these settlements to go and create all of these monuments with their heads, but we got to get MLK with headless, confused as to hell what this is. And so from afar it may look cute, but I think a head would have done this justice. So people are, they're up in arms. They spent 10 million on this. They're saying that you could have gave this 10 million to the communities, the people in the communities, versus do pull a stunt like this. Here was if you go on Twitter, you'll get some of their backlash. But here was one of the reactions. Seriously though, I do not. I find it to be I do find it to be a little offensive. What is this? And I can tell, I know they had to see this as they were creating it. Like somebody had to stop it, but the family, Coretta Scott King's family, their son, they all came to the defense. We love it. We were a part of the process. We all approved it. And I said, how we go from this, which is a very, very nice picture, to, to this. But whatever, if they love it, whatever. If they want to spend $10 million doing something like that, I can only say so much, but it definitely doesn't look good. Hey, Shantae, hey, it couldn't be remixed and replicated in so many ways. It fell short, very much so did. I understand the vision. It's all about the embrace, right? The embrace. But I think they should have had the heads. They absolutely should have had the heads. I mean, when you have children coming out there to visit it, and the first thing a child says is, "It looks like a penis." It looks like a penis. Yeah, I think you may have done, I wonder what he would have thought about it. We'll see. All right, y'all, let's get into the show. So we're going to kick it off with local news. Okay, we 20 minutes in. All right, so the first thing I want to come to is that I don't know if you all have heard about this story. Darius Miles. So University of Alabama basketball player Darius Miles among two charged with capital murder and shooting death on the Strip. Now, this story is really, really interesting because we didn't get a lot of details. When I first wanted to report on it yesterday, I didn't have as many details as I have today. So apparently, okay, these two suspects, now the one that's, the lighter skinned one is Darius Miles, and the other one is Michael Davis. Now, Michael Davis doesn't even attend University of Alabama. He's just hanging with Darius Miles. Now, mind you, Darius Miles was a star player at the University of Alabama. He was recently, but that Saturday prior to him doing this, he was released from the team because of an ankle injury. So he was off for the rest of the season. Now, I don't know if that made him feel bad or something like that. But the next day, him and this guy, they were on. Him and this guy were on the strip. These two suspects, they were on the strip. And so apparently, this lovely girl, Jamia Harris, she was there with another unidentified individual, and they were all walking on the strip with the two suspects walking on the strip. And apparently, there was some argument, there was some confrontation. At this point, we didn't know there was some confrontation. I automatically assumed one of the guys was trying to talk to the girl, and the girl was like, no, and that turned into something. And so then they separated. They went to their car. She went to their car, and then we got this. And so guns fired. So apparently, as they returned back to their car, these two, Darius and his friend, they pulled up to the car where Jamia and her friend are in the car. Now, the friend, I don't know if it's another male. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if that was a male or if that was whomever it was in their car, got into their car. They decide they're pulling off. They follow them, pull up, and start to pull out, exchange gunfire. Now, the driver returns gunfire out the window of Jamia. I didn't know this yesterday. So as the driver is doing it this way out the car, they're firing into the car. Jamia's sitting here in the passenger seat, and she gets shot, fatally shot. So she dies. And then, we got all of these different reasons. First reason that came out, it appears at this time that the shooting was the result of a minor argument that occurred between the victims and the suspects as they encountered each other along the strip. Now, I was reading on Twitter, could have been an ex-boyfriend or something like that going on, a scuffle. But it's funny how we all thought the same. This got to be some intimacy, some emotional, something, because who knows? Well, then when you start putting pieces of the story together, she's in the passenger seat. There's another driver. Maybe they were targeting the driver. She was just a bystander. Who knows? Another reason was, at this time, it appears that the only motive was a minor altercation that these individuals had with the victim as they were out on the strip. They didn't have a previous relationship. Now, here's the funny thing. The mother comes out on her Facebook, and this is what she says. Janae's mother, DeCarla Cotton, claims that her daughter was attacked by Miles and Davis because she refused to speak to them while out. So she posted online, took my baby life because she wouldn't talk to him. I will tell you that she was loved by all. She was a beautiful young woman who loved her family, and most of all, her 5-year-old son, Kane. She was just trying to enjoy her weekend with her cousin that attends the University of Alabama and her boyfriend. So then when you got that, it was like, oh, wait, she was in the car with her boyfriend. So they were out on the strip. These two guys must apparently try to talk to her. She refused it because she's with her boyfriend. And then maybe the boyfriend and them then get into a scuffle, which then they separate. All right, whatever. Go to their cars. These two guys, the University of Alabama basketball player who had so much going for himself, you fucking fool. Then he decides to retaliate this way. What an asshole. So the university, of course, drops this motherfucker quick. We are grieved by the incident that occurred near campus last night and extend our deepest condolences to the victim's family and friends. We are grateful for the quick and thorough response of law enforcement and emergency response teams, and we will continue to fully support the ongoing investigation. We were made aware of the recent charge against student athlete Darius Miles. He has been removed from campus and is no longer a member of the Alabama's men's basketball team. What a way to fuck your life up. You know what I'm saying? And it's people, and I'm saying this because it's people who want these opportunities. It is a black man sitting somewhere right now who knows that he can play ball really, really good, but he just don't got the opportunity. Here, your dumb ass got the opportunity, and you mad over some girl. We couldn't be friends. There's no way we could even be walking on the strip and you say, damn, man, she dissed me. I'd be looking at you like, okay. So what you want to do? You're mad? That's not, to me, it's senseless. It means nothing to me. So then he gets arrested. He want to put on this plea. I laughed. I was laughing as he was getting arrested.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
Good. Senseless. It makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. So now we're here. So now they're arrested. The two guys are arrested. The funny thing is that this man is not even doesn't even go to the school. You're hanging with somebody not even at the school, and y'all both getting into grief. Jamia Harris was a mother of one son. She was a mother of one son. She was just out there to visit with her boyfriend and her cousin for the weekend, and then this bullshit happens. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to her. Rest in peace to her. She was 23 years old. So sad. So sad. The other guy, Michael Davis, was 20, and Darius Miles was 21. They got absolutely what they deserve. Now I'm gonna show this this news clip. And shout out to the crew. I hope y'all hit that like button. And I see y'all creeping in here. Thank y'all for being here this morning. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Live. Local. Late breaking. WVTM 13 News at 10 starts now.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
A story that's getting a lot of attention tonight. A University of Alabama basketball player, one of two suspects charged in an overnight homicide. Now, police say a Birmingham woman was killed in that shooting on the Tuscaloosa Strip. WVTM 13's Chip Scarborough is live in Tuscaloosa tonight with more on a possible motive for this case. Chip?
Well, Jarvis, the Tuscaloosa Violent Crimes Unit says the shooting appears to be the result of some sort of argument between the victim and the suspects here along the Strip about 2 o'clock this morning. This is video given to us by Tuscaloosa Patch showing now former University of Alabama basketball player Darius Miles being taken to jail late this afternoon. Authorities say Miles and Michael Davis are charged with capital murder. Investigators say the victim, Jamia Janae Harris, later showed up to the Walk of Champions at Bryant-Denny Stadium where a UA police officer was stationed. The car she was in had been shot into, and law enforcement officers say the driver of the car reported he shot back at the suspects in self-defense. Tonight, people in Tuscaloosa are certainly talking about this since it involves a UA basketball player.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know his family is like real hurt about it. I mean, just having a son that had his whole future ahead of him, he had a good life ahead of him, and to know that he did something like this, it's heartbreaking to know.
And turns out that one of the suspects was actually hit by gunfire, although it was not life-threatening. Both suspects are in the Tuscaloosa County Jail tonight, charged with capital murder. Live along the Tuscaloosa Strip, Chip Scarborough, WVTM 13.
Now we're here. And now we're here. Now your life has changed. You should be embarrassed. Your family should be embarrassed. You should be getting your feeling. I mean, somebody should be checking you. You, in a matter of moment of seconds, this woman's life is gone. Rest in peace to Jamia Harris. Rest in peace to you, Mama. And I'm so sorry something like this so viciously happened to you. And my condolences to her family, her mom, her baby, her boyfriend, the folks who were involved in the situation. Rest in peace to y'all. But I'm glad they caught him. And you know what? I always say this. When people don't learn their lessons early in life, we always see the mistakes that they make later in life. And the consequences are so much greater, so heavier. And look at this man. You're arrested now. I wonder what mistake or what lesson did he not learn early? How about bruised ego? How about, You not the finest thing. How about you a basketball player and not every girl got to talk to you? Y'all got to chill out with that shit. This man took a life, literally. We don't know why, and I may be speculating, but I hope I'm speculating that wasn't the reason, because literally, allegedly, let me put that out there, allegedly, because dog, this ain't it. This ain't it at all. Fuck is wrong with you? Let me see what y'all had to say. Yes, Shantae, they spent the 10 million. Yes, they spent 10 million on that penis stat on this MLK statue. I don't know what this is, y'all. What is this? What is it? Somebody got to tell me. And when you look at it from a back distance, it looked like somebody's holding a penis. I mean, from the top, but who's standing this tall up from the sky to see it from this angle? People was like, yeah, I don't think I'll be going there to take pictures. Yes, that's why he was out the whole season. He's out the whole next season. Now he's gone for real. For real, for real. Good morning, Aries. Hey, the male ego needs a hard factory reset. You can be told no. Handle that shit. The right to choose and refuse is not just yours. You can be told no. Damn, you got to deal with rejection and deal with like isolation and separation early while you're youthful, while you can't handle and process it. Because when you get older and that shit happens to you, your first thing is to respond out of fear or fight. Like fight, you got that. Am I going, or am I going to get scared? Because you don't know how to process it. So you go to your natural emotions, which is scared or stand up. Boy, if you lucky he didn't, her boyfriend didn't slap the shit out of you while they was right on the scene and you didn't get shot right then and there. Like this could have went so many other ways. God was telling you, let's walk away and be done with it. But see, you didn't learn that lesson, which is I ain't getting rejected. You ain't talking to me like this. So you had to go a little further. And we're here. What you thought you was gonna shoot the windows out and drive off, it was gonna be done. No, it's lethal. Guns are deadly, bruh. Fuck is wrong with y'all? And that could be anybody's sister, my cousin, anybody going down to visit their man, and we're here. Threw his whole life away. Good morning, Rika. Hey, shout out to Rika. Good morning. Good morning. His ego is easily bruised. Need to get his ass off Similac. That self and to teach him lessons he didn't even know he needed. Okay? Took that baby's life. Good morning, Nadine. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Rest in peace. How about no is a response? Wow, they need every red cent sent back. Absolutely. And they need to add, I absolutely think that too. They need to allege this man with a whole fucking fine. Rest in peace to that girl. And I'm glad that they found the guy, both of them. They both were found. Now, let's get into another hot topic story. And this one is a real sad story. And you know, this is a story where it's sad, but it's going to teach us something about implicit biasness. So you have this deaf woman found in New York City after living on the subway for 3 weeks. Now, here's a picture of her. And so, very, very, a much older woman. She's very much so capable of living with her family, but not alone. So she's at her family's residence. This is her along with her cousins. I just wanted to show you all that she's not we ain't talking about no homeless woman. This fucking implicit biasness going on. So you got this deaf woman, nonverbal. She's at her mom's house on Christmas, the day before Christmas. And so she's at her cousin's house. So she decides, I got to leave my cousin's house and go to my mom's house. So as she's leaving out the door, it's so cold outside, so icy outside, she falls. So some man, by the grace of God, sees her falling, realizes she's nonverbal, calls 911. 911 gets her and takes her to a hospital. Well, the hospital, which you think they would know she's nonverbal, you should call someone, or they release her into the street with a pamphlet of homeless resources. So the homeless woman, not knowing nothing, she's just walking. We're on Christmas Eve night, the day before Christmas. She's just walking at 2 a.m. on the street, just walking. She out walking, don't know where to go, just trying to figure it out. She end up in a subway, riding train for train, hoping she's going to get somewhere. Hoping, train to train for 2 fucking weeks. By the time someone realized that this woman, because police saw her, but they thought she was a homeless black woman, because by this time she looked so disheveled. Her feet was swollen in some flip-flops, because mind you, we're going through this frigid weather. She lost 10 pounds of weight, dirty, hungry. They think she just homeless. No one trying to offer her help. And I said, you know what? That is so sad, because I could see me walking past someone who looks nonverbal but homeless too. And I can see me just dismissing them. This was a wake-up call for me, because not everyone is under these same circumstances. So this woman rides to the subway for 2 weeks. Finally, somebody realizes that this isn't the right one. They call the paramedics. The paramedics comes and get her. They realize, oh, you're the missing woman, because the family had put something out for her. No one ever found anything. So finally she gets, to the hospital. The family is just hysterical, but they have a question for the original hospital. Why the fuck would you release a nonverbal patient? You're a hospital. You should understand mental diagnosing a patient that might be under some disability, maybe some mental something going on. But y'all release this woman. So the family is now trying to figure out what kind of legal ramifications they got. Can they sue? Can you sue? Bitch, are you kidding me? Not only can you sue, y'all should be able to walk in there without having to stop. Straight. Seriously. So the story, Samantha left her sister Joanna her house where she was staying for the holidays early December 23rd in an effort to find her way back to her mother's house in Brooklyn. That evening, a bystander in Queens found her lying on the ground in 18-degree weather in an apparent need of help. They took her to Queens Hospital Center, but the staff let the deaf and nonverbal woman walk back out at 2 a.m. when temperatures hit a frigid 7 degrees with nothing but a list of homeless shelters. Y'all check this shit out. I don't understand what's going on with some people. Somebody asked me to be online. Missing since December 23rd, found 2 days ago. How the fuck shit like that happen in America?
Crime is just
we in some third world country. We're in America.
of crime is just she's so grateful to everyone tonight. She's thanking so many family members, so many friends. She's thanking the news media. She is on cloud nine. She just can't believe that her sister will soon be coming home to such a loving family. This missing woman has 6 sisters and 3 brothers, and they can't wait to bring her home.
Oh my God, I was elated. I mean, I burst out in tears, but this time it was tears of joy. Seriously, because I was just tired of the sad crying.
It was the answer to Genevieve Primus's prayers. After 3 weeks of searching with help from so many family members, friends, and reporters, including Pix 11's Mary Murphy, 46-year-old Denise Primus, who is deaf and has autism, was found on the #1 train in Lower Manhattan Saturday afternoon at the Staten Island ferry stop. Acting on a tip, it was another sister, Ghislaine, who found her sister still wearing the pink hat she had on when she left her sister Joanna Peck's house in Elmont on a bitterly cold, rainy morning of December 23rd. A much thinner Denise was brought here to Brooklyn Methodist Hospital to be examined by doctors.
Under the circumstances, we welcome her that she's alive, and now she just needs medical care, and she needs a lot of love and attention, and we just have to nurture her back.
The family is still upset that 16 hours after Denise Primus left the house in Elmont on December 23rd, she was taken to Queens Hospital Center in Jamaica, only to be released at 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve and given a list of homeless shelters.
There was no way you should send somebody who's mute, who's deaf and autistic, and put them out in the streets at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's totally inhumane.
It is inhumane, and I don't think there is one explanation they can give that is fitting or that will have us or even the public accept.
As the family contemplates a lawsuit, for now there is only gratitude to her family who love and missed her so desperately.
The fact that people got up out of the warmth of their homes to assist and make this happen, that's all we got asked for.
Girl, if y'all don't sue, they ask like y'all need to be sending letters of intent to file a lawsuit. Make them scared and nervous. Y'all absolutely got a case. What medical center will release a patient that's not. But I go get a dental treatment and get some anesthetic. They asking me, do I got somebody to pick me up? We can't release you unless you can't drive. So what the fuck you mean? An emergency room, a nonverbal mute. How is y'all communicating with her? You obviously knew there was a circumstance here. Y'all better sue their ass. Damn, don't let this shit ride. Don't let that shit ride. Ain't no what do you mean contemplating? Exactly, contemplating. No, y'all, we gonna line y'all ass right the fuck up. I know that's right. That one sister said, ain't shit to be said to explain this. Pretty much. Sister was like, they ain't got no reason. How you gonna justify something like that? Because racism is still alive and real. A white deaf person would have never been handled with such miscare or oversight. Next of kin would have been contacted immediately. Immediately. Now you know they were terrified like a motherfucker. That hospital will be receiving heavy malfeasance, malpractice suit. And it took 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I mean, I started thinking like, is the woman enrolled in like a deaf mute association where they can just send out alerts and have like resources on how to find? Like, y'all gotta link up with these. It's resources out there. We gotta start reaching out. I don't care if it's you. We gotta get these resources, man. Ain't no reason. I'm thinking like, ain't no fucking way. And she just riding the subway to Subway for 2 weeks. She done spent New Year's Eve and day on the subway. Girl, if y'all don't sue for emotional distress, y'all better get, y'all got something up, y'all. Y'all definitely got something. Now, if y'all thought that was something, get into this next story. So, this woman, okay, I'm just gonna call her a woman because I don't know what else to say about her. She has 3 kids. She has 2 boys and she has a daughter, a 9-year-old boy, a 3-year-old boy, and a 10-year-old daughter. Now, weeks leading up to this incident, her family, specifically her mother, hi mom, yeah, I got to talk to you after this. I'm sorry. Her mother realized that her daughter had been acting weird. Now, a year earlier, the baby dad, the father of her children, which I think was her boyfriend, had been shot and killed. And so ever since then, the mom said, I noticed my daughter has been acting different, acting strange. But no reaching out to mental health resources, no wanting to have those tough conversations with her daughter. She let her daughter do as she pleased. Well, 2 weeks leading to this incident, the daughter while it's been cold outside now, the daughter stopped living at her house. The daughter had a home for her kids, a nice apartment, bedrooms for all the kids. She just decided we're not going to live there no more. We're just gonna go from place to place. So they came to the mom house one day, and the mom like, y'all cold? What y'all doing? Y'all want me to feed y'all? The daughter's like, no, I don't want you to feed me. I don't want you to do nothing for us. Nothing. We don't need nothing. We just stopping by. And the kids looking like, we hungry. We need some. We're hungry. So the mother just this is where I'm breaking with the mom. The mom just let it ride. Okay, all right, baby, bye. 2 fucking days later, this woman out just in the field somewhere, back of the woods, just running around with her kids. They got t-shirts and pants on. It's 10 degrees outside. And so neighbors and people have been calling police. Like, we see this woman and her kids outside. We see it, but we don't know what's going on. Police don't show up. Okay, well, we'll go out and look. And they look, they don't see nothing. The 10-year-old daughter wakes up on Sunday morning to a neighbor's home, knocks on the door and say, hey, my family is dead. And she's like, what? My family died. So the police arrive, take the little girl to the hospital where she continues to tell them, my mom told us to go to bed and wake up in the morning to lay in the field, and only I woke up. I tried to wake them up, but they wouldn't wake up. Now, this is the 3-year-old boy and the 9-year-old boy and the mother. Now, y'all tell me, chat, could this have been prevented? Where were the fucking signs? Could this have been prevented? Are you kidding me? There's no way my cousin, my mom, anybody be coming to me with their kids. Yeah, we going to help him. Soon as you leave my house, I'm telling you this cousin. Soon as you leave this house, I'm telling you this mom. Soon as you leave this house, anybody, I'm calling services on you. Yes, you got a 3-year-old with you and you ain't living at your house and they cold and they hungry. I'm calling services on you. I'm telling them where you were because I'm not thinking about you at that point. Clearly, you got something wrong. But the mother didn't do that here. So the daughter now wakes up, and it's a sad ass fucking story. Police describe what led to mother, 2 young sons freezing to death in Pontiac Woods in Michigan. So y'all check this one out. I said, out of all the things we want to do and protect, we always talk about how we want to protect. I want to protect my baby. I want to protect my child. That extends to adulthood too. I'm being for real. Ain't none of that. You an adult? No. I don't want to hear.
Mother and her 2 after taking refuge in an overgrown park. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is live with more. And Jessica, it is a heartbreaking story.
Unbelievable. I'm not sure I've ever covered something quite like this. And the sheriff tonight saying that this is all indicative of a mental health crisis that 35-year-old Monica Kennedy was in. And I want you to think about this. For about 2 days, she and her 3 children were wandering through Pontiac, barely clothed. We're talking about 10-year-old Lily, that's the daughter, 9-year-old Kyle, and 3-year-old Malik. Now, this all started about 3 weeks ago. The family says they noticed Monica started acting bizarrely, really something they hadn't seen before. Cut to Friday, the family really just wandering through the streets of Pontiac when they had a home. She lived in an apartment with those kids, and they had a house. On Saturday afternoon sometime, they showed up in the area of Branch and Gillespie. They were knocking on doors. Monica was telling these folks in the neighborhood that they were hungry. People tried to give her money. She wouldn't accept it. And that's when they started wandering into this overgrown area near Crystal Lake there. And she had told the kids that she believed that someone was after them, trying to kill them, that it was all a big conspiracy. That it was all a conspiracy or something like that. And that's when she told the kids to lay down, where they all laid down in this field. And the only one, sadly, that woke up was Lily. She put on her mom's coat and ran for help. And that's when police later discovered Monica with the 2 little boys there, just 9 and 3 years old. We talked to Monica's brother, who says that he had never seen anything like this from her. He had been searching all weekend. Let's take a listen.
They was amazing, so smart, and it's just so sad that they were so young, didn't even get to experience life yet. I wouldn't blame her. I just want to know what happened, what was in her system. Like, I need answers to that so I can know what type of state of mind she was on. It's never, ever have been her.
Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard really pushing the mental health services in Oakland County at an earlier press conference. He did say that family did not reach out to the sheriff's office. They did get some 911 calls throughout the weekend of someone walking through Pontiac without many clothes on, not dressed appropriately, but they really didn't have all the pieces to the puzzle. Every time they would go out to that area, they'd be nowhere to be found. And that little girl, 10-year-old, brave little Lily, she said that her mom told her if anyone were to approach them, that they were to run. So really just a breakdown overall. You'll hear more from the sheriff on those mental health services and a little more on what happened coming up later at 6. But for now, reporting live, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Yeah.
I honestly, we gotta look out for each other. I'm not saying we got to. And if you're not looking out for that person, you got to look out for them kids. There's no way a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old is dead right now because of their mother's own mental health. Let's say she did have a mental health issue, and let's say she did get help and got medication, and they are alive today. We wouldn't even have this story. And I'm not saying mental health medicine or treatment is always the answer, but certainly in this case, there's no reason why the family didn't call 911 within those 2 days of them being missing at all. I would have at least called 911 and said, hey, my family member just dropped by with their kids and she just looked disheveled. The kids look bad. I don't know where she's going. I don't know what's going on. I just wanted to get this on record. Okay. I want to get this on. Remember, we talked about this before, y'all, why it's so important for us to get stuff like this on record, because when it's time to go to court and stuff, all of this stuff comes back up. And I'm not saying it for just to be like talking about it. I'm just saying it so we know. And I would have called. I definitely would have called and been like, I don't know what's going on, but I just want you to know, do you want to give your name? Yes. Here's my name, Roman. Put it down. This is my number. This is the last known address they were at. And then I'd have moved on and I'd have, doing my due diligence. But to just not as the mom to not call 911 or do anything, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not trying to go too hard on that because I know there are moms out here who may be dealing with different things with their children and trying to help them. And I don't want to put blame or say anything that may come off reckless. But in this case, this specific example here, I truly felt like the mom should have did something. She should have did something, y'all. She should have did something. I don't even think, I'm just thinking about my own family. My grandmother would have probably did something. I'm sure she would have. One of the people in the back. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming through. No, feed them and take them. You are a mother. You know what neglect be looking like. Feed them and call the police at the same time. That's what you so crazy. At the same time, the children not eating is a huge sign. Taking refuge. Refuge from what? Of course, there were signs. No telling how many times she and mom disagreed about her kids, her being growing, those being her kids. Absolutely. She was clearly suffering from some kind of mental health breakdown. Sadly, mothers are often damned if they do and damned if they don't. Mothers are ridiculed for not being superwoman, saying they need help, asking for a break. Then we are bad moms, admitting. And take that burden off yourselves as moms. Take it off. Because I'm telling you now, I'm not a dad, but I can only imagine. Take them burdens off. If you need help, you need help. You ain't no superwoman. And I tell you, the people who are asking for help, they are a lot farther in their circumstance than those who aren't. You got to speak up if you need help. There's a million people out willing just to help motherfuckers. And you ain't got to ask for help in just your state. If you want to be secretive, look in another state. There's states who give resources across states. I work in foundation work, so I'm telling you this from a place of knowing. If you need help and you're like that, look nationally. Go to Google. Resources for you might need help with rent payment. There might be national programs. There might be just a website application. There might be many things. So you don't feel bad. It's a lot of people out here standing behind single mothers or mothers who may be feeling, don't take on that burden. Don't take it on. She was ready to go. And we say admitting you are not the best thing for your kids is in the moment is love. Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. It really is. It is. No shade, but it is. Good morning, Journey. I'm speaking in my own life. That's why I said no shade. Shout out to my mom. I love you. Just talking to my mom yesterday. Child, my mom, hey mom. But no shade. That's probably one of the greatest things she did was like say, I can't take care of you the way I need to take care of you, and I'm gonna give you to your TT. Because I wouldn't be the Roman you all know today. So it's value in reaching out for support and help. And I love my mom dearly. It doesn't change our dynamic. I had to grow up and understand some things, but let's not just do that to each other. So that was that was definitely a moment for us to also start understanding that mental health is not only for yourself, but people around you. Check on your folks around you. They come around you differently or something. Ask them. I'm a nosy motherfucker. I always ask my friends and family. Now, because we still in local news. So let's switch real quick. So, oh my goodness. This woman, this is coming out to us out of Missouri. Okay, this is coming to us out of motherfucking Missouri. So this woman, right? She just got released from the hospital around Christmas time and in May of 2021. Not around Christmas time, but around Christmas time, she had gotten into an accident where she broke her back. And so she had her parents had came to help her with her back and stuff. And so the first weekend that she had came, her husband was like, they gotta go to their face while she was there. And the wife was like, no, that's my, they ain't going nowhere. So he let it go on for months and months. He didn't say nothing. He hated them being there. He didn't speak to them. Him and his wife got into it. Baby, he fucked around and told them, all right, it's time for them to go. The wife said no. He went to his truck and off not only the in-laws, but the wife. And he did it so strategically that he wanted the wife to watch while she sat in her wheelchair, him shoot and kill her parents. Y'all, This shit is no fucking joke. I said, really? Missouri man killed his wife and in-laws because they wouldn't leave his home. What is wrong with you people? Her fucking back was, if she had to leave it up to you to take care of her, we see what happened. Those were her parents. So he gets arrested. He calls the police, calls him 911. Ring, 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 ring. Yeah, I just shot him. Yep, I did. My wife and her mother and father. Well, why did you do that, sir? Because I told them to leave. Frankly, I got tired of them being here. They were supposed to be here for a short time, but they've been here for a long time. So they're like, okay, this motherfucker's crazy. So they show up. They arrest this man. So during this time, from then to now, he had been pleading, trying to take a guilty plea, like, with a lesser sentence. 2 days ago, this is why it's relevant now. He basically said, you know what? I did this shit. It is what it is. I'll take a guilty plea and you're going to sentence me. So now the judge is sentencing him to life. Now, get into what this judge is saying to this man in the courtroom. And the judge is looking like, this is like the first. I'm always shocked at judges when they're like, this is the first time I ever had a case like this. And then me who report on these stories, I'm like, really? All this shit going on in the world? It's the first time you had a case like this? So y'all check this out. And please hit the like crew. Give me some love this morning. I appreciate y'all being here. We just kicking the breeze, talking about this crazy shit going on in America. And I hope the Wi-Fi is better for y'all. I worked on it. Yes, I did.
Well, a man from Stratford convicted for the murders of his wife and her parents will be spending the rest of his life behind bars. Jesse Huey told police he killed all three because he was tired of them. Fox 49's Parker Padgett live for us tonight at the Greene County Courthouse. And Parker, some emotional words in the courthouse earlier today.
Yeah, Mike, we got to hear from people related to the victims asking the judge to keep Huey behind bars for the rest of his life.
This was a barbaric, heinous, unspeakable crime. The defendant went in and shot 3 unarmed people.
Jesse Huey, after pleading guilty to the murders of Tanya Huey and Ron and Linda Kohler, is now sentenced to life in prison.
I have to tell you, sir, that really I've never handled a case quite of this nature. The word senseless doesn't seem to really capture what happened here.
Huey told law enforcement he wanted his in-laws to leave, but his wife refused to tell them to go. He says he then went to his truck, got a gun, and killed them all in under a minute.
He shot them in cold blood. And then, as the evidence suggests from these photographs, went up to each of them in turn and fired at least a second. In Tanya's case, a third, shot into their head.
Family of the victims gave statements, asking the judge to impose the harshest punishment possible.
I will miss Linda and Ron's willingness to always be there for all of us. That's what they were doing with Tanya when this arrogant monster made the selfish decision to take their lives.
I have never been through this type of tragedy before and did not know where to begin. I just did not understand how a person could cause this much devastation to one family and not even have any remorse.
Judge Mountjoy addressed Huey before sentencing and spoke about the manner the three were gunned down.
To make sure she saw what you were doing to her parents and then shoot her in the eyes, that's full of all kinds of psychology that is way over my training, but it's horrific. All of this is horrific.
Huey told the courtroom he would have pled over a year ago.
You can't, when I see stories like this, y'all, shout out to the crew. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all give me some love. Hit the like. I think we had 24 likes. I just took a peek, and it's 41 people in here. Can y'all give me some love this morning? Thank you so much. When I hear stories like this, where like a man just offs his wife like this and family, I always go to, they must have had some domestic violence going on in that house. It made me wonder about her back being broken. Like, you did not care for that woman. That's not love. When I'm mad about something and somebody I love, my first thing isn't to go off them. You hated her parents, and because of that, you probably hated your wife. And that's those are transferable lessons. if you are dating someone or you are engaged with someone and they dislike someone you love or who's close to you, you better watch that shit. Cause one day that rage they have for the person that you like and they hate may transfer onto you and you don't know when, where, and how. But baby, this guy, I saw this. I was like, shout out to I love Bossa. I love B Scott. Shout out to B Scott. What up, B Scott? I be in everybody inbox. What up, B Scott? Shout out to B Scott. I saw this and I was like, wait, what? They did what? So yeah, that happened. And shout out to the chat. I see y'all creeping in, creeping in, creeping in. Um, thanks, King Roman News Mom. Aw. Good morning, Voodoo. Hey, babes. Good morning. Exactly. Those poor children, they knew it. It wasn't right. Shaking my head. Can't imagine that being their last moments of life. They knew it. You can just imagine them laying down right there, just going to sleep. Oh my God, baby. I'm telling you, just off them. And then did it strategically so that she could watch her mom and dad pass away, die, and then she was next. What a jerk. Good morning, Kings Mina. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Cash App and bullshit. What the hell is wrong with people? Medicine, prescriptions. Now, wait a minute. I had a bro-in-law that I couldn't stand, and someone already knocked his eye out, and he still ran his mouth. And many times I wanted to put the other one out. Okay. Wait, not your brother-in-law you couldn't stand. Okay, listen, baby. He said, I'm done with all of them. Now, if y'all thought that was something, y'all got to get into this story. This crazy ass story. So this story is coming to us out of Louisiana, and I don't understand what's going on in Louisiana. So this girl and her boyfriend, she's 20, he's 25. I just wanted to give y'all that for some context. We ain't talking about no old folks. We talking about a 20 and 25-year-old. They live together. So they went out on a night in town in Louisiana or whatever, and they were drunk as fuck, drunk boots. Came home, got into bed, and he started peeing in the bed. He started pissing in the bed. She woke up. Not only did she punch him in the face and try to roll his ass off the bed because she was mad. I guess he must have been doing this a lot of times. The woman stabs the man in the torso. She took the time to go to her kitchen, get a knife, come back in the room, still mad about him pissing in the bed, stabs him in the torso. To which he's then trying to fight her back, but he can't. Now, he didn't die. He suffered very severe injuries. And so she's being charged, but he don't want to press charges on her. So she's being charged with attempted second-degree murder, and that she admitted that she stabbed him because of, him pissing in the bed. But he doesn't want to press charges on her. Woman arrested for stabbing boyfriend for wetting the bed in Louisiana. Y'all gotta Google that story. They don't have no news clips out on it, but it came up on my feed, and I said, "Are you kidding me?" So she's being charged. He doesn't want to press charges. He wants to reconcile the relationship, which leads me to believe that they've been beat. I quickly want to say that they've been, but she been beating on this nigga ass. Girl, you beat his ass because he pissed on himself. I mean, yeah. I had to ask the question myself, like, what would you do, Roman? If I feel some hot pee on my leg while I'm laying in the bed, you're gonna get cursed the fuck out. You're too old for this shit. You're gonna get cursed out. That's immediate. Bitch, get the fuck out. What the fuck? But as far as going to grab a knife, no. I'm not gonna throw no blows unless you throw some blows on me because of my vicious tongue. Because I'm gonna let your ass have it. The fuck up out of here, bitch. Them your keys over there, your pants and shit over there. No, you can't get in my shower. Walk straight to your car, pissy and all. Go. It's time to go. Now, if you get outy and bounty around that, then yeah, we might throw blows. But just to beat your ass while we laying down, I mean, she knocked him out, so he was like halfway unconscious. And when he realized he was getting his ass beat, and she was trying to roll him off the bed, she couldn't. So she went to, because she kept saying, "Get up, get up." She went to the kitchen to get a knife and stabbed this man in the torso. Bitch, I wonder if he got some sisters. Because see, that's too much. That's too much. Because he ain't gonna get justice on you, but his sisters would. Some cousins will come run down on your ass. You want to stab bitches for pissing on themselves? The fuck is going on? What is going on in Louisiana? Niggas is mad out there. They mad. They are upset. Now we got to be in a bag problem. So, but she's gonna have to change. She's not into golden showers. Clearly, she's not into golden showers, and I am not either. I don't play that shit. I'm not into that kind of stuff. That's a little kink for me. That's too kinky. I barely like spit. Stop blowing them bubbles. Stop blowing them bubbles. So that happened to us out of Louisiana. Now, this next story is a very sad story, and this is another lesson for us. So this woman was in an Uber, riding the Uber down, and she's with this Uber driver. Now, the Uber driver is claiming that he wasn't experiencing any road rage during this time frame. However, a car next to him obviously was mad at the way the Uber driver was driving, cut him off trying to get into a lane. I said, yeah, I could believe an Uber driver doing that, trying to either beat time or I don't know. And then the man shoots into the car, fired. The man who's mad, he pulls out his pistol, shoots in the car like, bitch, the fuck, nigga? You cutting me off and shit. It don't hit the driver, but it hit the passenger. The passenger in the back seat, like, whoa, what am I getting into? The passenger got shot in her leg. So she shot in her leg. The driver, he's driving his car to the nearest hospital. She going to the hospital. I'm like, so now the Uber driver is still back on the road because they're claiming that it wasn't his fault. And the driver has not been found. So this lady is shot. So Philadelphia, this has happened in Philadelphia. So Philadelphia is issuing a statement to Uber drivers to drive more carefully and how you should. They don't need to just do that shit there. I don't know about y'all, but the Uber drivers here in Maryland are some of the worst. They're some of the worst Uber drivers around. When I tell you, there's a reason you should have an Uber sign on your vehicle. So I'll know that you're driving slow and checking your maps and shit. Because by the time I pull up to you when it's about to be yellow to red, I'm already flicking a finger at you, and it's your job. I hate feeling like that. I'm like, oh, my bad. Damn, you trying to get a ride, and I'm all pissed off. I be so mad. The fuck out the way. Do that shit in park, bitch. The fuck you in the middle of the road figuring out who you picking up next. That's not my problem. I wish we could call the police on them. That's what I be wanting to do.
Pennsylvania State Police say a passenger inside a rideshare vehicle was injured after a road rage incident on the Schuylkill Expressway. The 20-year-old woman was taken to the hospital by the driver, and at last check, police she was stable. Kelly, what more can you tell us here?
Well, Sheba, it seems this whole terrifying and violent exchange happened in a matter of seconds. Police tell us it was the other driver that sped up, tried to merge in an unsafe way, pulled up alongside the rideshare vehicle, rolled down their window, and fired 3 times. That passenger, a 20-year-old woman, was shot in the leg.
I ignore him. I just keep driving. I wave to him, and I just let it be.
William Perry says he recently installed blue Uber lights on his car in the hopes impatient drivers will spare him the road rage.
People can understand that I'm working. I cannot speed with every driver getting behind me wanting to speed. I'm out here 8 hours a day. I can't afford road rage because I have other customers in the car. I can endanger their lives.
Pennsylvania State Police say a passenger was in real danger early Saturday morning. Around 4 a.m., they say a white Hyundai Sonata, operating as a rideshare with a 20-year-old passenger, was driving eastbound on 76 near mile marker 344, which is the I-676 merge. Police say a black Nissan Altima with New Jersey registration sped towards the Hyundai and attempted to unsafely merge onto 676 East, then pulled alongside the driver of the Hyundai, rolled down their window, and fired 3 shots. Police say the woman sitting in the back was shot once in the left thigh. The rideshare driver rushed her to Thomas Jefferson Hospital.
Extremely crazy. I don't understand why people are so angry when driving, but I have to be careful. I always say that I drive for myself and for others too.
State police say they photographed and processed the rideshare vehicle at the hospital. Bengali Kone is a rideshare driver. He feels blatant disregard of traffic laws, and road rage in the city has gotten worse, and it's worrisome.
Fuck that shit. They need to do an exclusive here in this city. Y'all don't even understand. These motherfuckers be sitting at green lights, checking their phone or the next ride. I be blowing my horn. What is wrong with you? What are we doing? People be driving like they have no, I always say it, look at this shit. You driving like you got no fucking destination, nowhere to go. You just out here like we ain't got nowhere to go. If you have nowhere to go, Go on the side streets. Get out the main roads. I hate that shit. Rest in peace to this woman. There's no way you should be ordering an Uber ride and your Uber driver and another driver having road rage. The fuck kind of shit is that? You better press that safety button on your press the safety button and report a Uber driver while you sitting in him. I would have reported his ass. Hey sir, now hold on. What are you doing? You got precious cargo back here. The fuck is going on? He'd have to wear he had to wear the pin. Stop. Good morning, crew. Get ready to hit it after a 4-day weekend. Listening in the clouds. Everyone have a blessed and highly favored week. You too, Kimberly Black. Thank you for coming through. Damn, they had to have New Jersey license plates. Okay. Well, you know, New Jersey, they know better either. New Jersey's no better either. All right, so we finna get over into hot topics. Baby, we got a couple of things to cover over here on Hot Topics. I don't know, y'all know about Jason Lee. He done interviewed Cardi B. It's leaking out now. And also, what else we want to get? I want to get into TJ Holmes. I want to get into Kevin Gates. And who else I want to get into? 21 Savage. So let's get into these things. So first, TJ Holmes. So TJ Holmes and Amy Roback may sue ABC if fired from Good Morning America. So the word is out now. It's out that they both have been, Amy and TJ are out. A decision has been made. The network is negotiating with them on their exit deals and an announcement. And I said, wow. So they both gonna cut them out here. You know, the first thing I said, oh, Amy too. Oh, Amy too. Well, then I read further and I get a little more clarity. They have not been terminated yet, but I don't expect TJ to be on again. They do want Amy to stay and be a part of things there, but likely not on Good Morning America 3. And I said, look at that shit. Look at that shit. So for a couple of things ran in my mind. First thing that ran in my mind was, this has nothing to do with racism. First thing I said, no, I don't think that's racism. You know what I think it is? It's sexism, because they are getting rid of this man for alleged sexual allegations and promiscuity across the office. But Amy Roback did the same fucking thing. And not only that, she's been way more controversial. I had to do some research on her. Y'all remember her in the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing when she some leaked audio got out about her statements regarding Jeffrey Epstein, and the network went up in roar. And so that's the first thing I thought. I said, oh, so they're playing the sexist card. We're gonna get rid of the man, but we want to keep her. Then I got to thinking further, like, no, it's also got to be some play on this racism. Because even if it was sexism, I don't see them doing the same thing to a white man. I don't see them dismissing a white man or terminating him or wanting to get rid of him. I see them wanting him because it's a problem. He's a lot more power. His image is a lot more powerful. People are still going to talk about TJ Holmes. It's culture. And I think if it was another person, it wouldn't be as interesting. It would go by the wayside, like some of their other stories have done. So they have lawyered up. Okay. Amy and TJ lawyer up for a lawsuit. If they lose their jobs, while ABC decides what to do with Amy and TJ, they have secured serious legal representation. The kissing co-workers are prepared to sue in the event that ABC keeps them off the air or fires them. TMZ reports Amy hired Hollywood civil rights attorney Andrew Bretler, and TJ retained Eric George. Now, the anchors say they're not just in limbo. They claim ABC kept them in the dark about why they are still not back on Good Morning America 3. They claim the hiatus contradicts internal announcements that there would be no disciplinary action. So they're like, look, if ain't nothing wrong, y'all said that we ain't do nothing. Because remember, we reported Kim Goodwin came out here, the president of ABC, and was like, there's nothing wrong here. We're just going to let everything die down and we'll come back. Well, it pretty much there is some shit wrong with here, because you can't get Amy Roback and TJ Holmes back on Good Morning America 3 without us as the audience being distracted. They are a total production programming distraction. I don't care if you separate them. I'm going to be side-eyeing every story Amy talk about, like, bitch, I know you ain't talking. She couldn't report on certain topics. She definitely couldn't report in the Good Morning America seat. TJ Holmes wouldn't either. So for me, I saw them both. So then they pull this. I said, this must be Holmes. We're told the lawyers will pose this question to ABC. Has ABC ever used the morals or conduct clause to fire or discipline two consenting adults at equal levels when both were white? The sources go on to say it would be telling if this is the first time ABC invoked the morals clause under these circumstances with a black and a white anchor. The sources go on to say the damages could be enormous if their reputations and careers are ruined as a result of discipline by the network. And this is where they might have them by the balls, because the president did not do the job she should have did. This should have been an immediate, swift response. We're going to investigate. You are either going to suspend, or none of that came out clear. It was like, we're temporarily removing them from the air. Okay, are you suspending them? No, we're just going to conduct the investigation. Okay, so why are they off the air? And certainly for this long. So this is going to be interesting. Do I think TJ Holmes will prevail? I don't think he'll be back on Good Morning America. I don't think he'll be back on ABC. Whether that's a payout, who knows? But I don't see him being on. They're pushing really hard for this. Amy Robach, I don't know. Because I feel like, if he has a sour relationship with ABC, what does that do to their relationship? Amy and TJ Holmes. Like, does she sit there and say, okay, y'all not cool, but I got to go get my bag, so let me go do this, and risk there being some animosity between them two? I don't know. That's why I'm like, I don't know. It'll be a tough decision for her to make as well. Their reputation and careers are damaged because of their behavior, not anything the network did. Child. And speaking of both of their spouses, Amy Robach was meeting her spouse in New York to do a swap of the dog. So they caught that on camera. So it appears that they are not like really, really mad at each other. They're just going through a divorce. And I told you all in that upload that I did that this had been settled, well before, we got the leak of the pictures. So they was hoping everything was going to be kept under rugs. But unfortunately, our nosy asses wanted to see what's going on. So because of that, we're here. Do I think, again, I don't think that Holmes will be fired, but I do think he might be bought out at a nice amount. And do I think Amy Robach will be fired or terminated? No. But I do think something will happen, either a programming switch up or maybe some years off, because she's a distraction. I'm telling you now, she couldn't report on no relationships. She couldn't report on no hot topics, because you're going to be looking at her. She's a distraction, period. Point blank at the end. Now let me switch over to this. So let me ask y'all, have y'all heard about Kevin Gates lately and his recent conversations? So Kevin Gates, disgusting self. Kevin Gates reveals he loves for his women to urinate in his mouth. Now, I have a problem with this, because this isn't the first time Kevin Gates has said some disgusting shit. And I'm starting to see a pattern with Kevin Gates. I think he's into poor hygiene or like filth, disgust. So do y'all remember when he first came out here and he first said this?
And the reason I say she really, really close, oh God, don't kill me. She got acne in her face. I know this gonna sound crazy. A lot of women with acne in their face got good pussy, because their hormones are so imbalanced that it caused them to have congestion, so they not releasing properly. See, once I start really just caught in, I really put it on her face started clearing up. Because a lot of time we break out, this, we have back acne developed due to what? Stress and things of that nature. I'm not saying all women with acne got.
That's where they get eczema, anything with the skin, yeah.
But a lot of the things that go on with us are really internally. I'm not just saying it for that, but she up there. She in my top 3.
That's good, man, because there's a lot of women out there with acne and they got insecurities because of the acne, but you just
gave
us another perspective.
I'm so serious. Like a woman with a little bit of congestion, little acne in her face, them be the ones. I'm talking about pussy good.
So you don't like the makeup?
Soaking wet.
Yeah.
What? That is certainly not the first question I say. Oh, you got acne? That shit must be good. What? You out here dating people because they got sores and and pus, oil, and dirt built up on their face, you're disgusting. That is just nasty. I could see you date someone who didn't have it, then they got one on their face, and you know. But to say a woman with acne on her face means that she got a lot of pressure built up and a lot of stress, and I mean that her stuff is gonna be good. What kind of weird shit? You trying to justify your old kinky, nasty. What? See, that should have turned you off. That will turn me off from a millionaire. This would be on some whole R. Kelly shit. Like, what are we doing in America where pimples become is an attraction? It should be a temporary thing. This man is attracted to pus, y'all. I cannot. If you don't get this man some Noxzema cream, child, he is a walking face cream endorsement. Ew. He is nasty. This mother. He missed me to Joe. This man was something else. He says anything. Thank you, baby Jesus. I'm old and off the market. Now, if y'all thought that was something, so he recently did an interview, and this is what he had to say. Now, notice the woman is trying to ask him one question, like, we ain't talking about you, nigga. We ain't talking about you. We talking about us. But watch what look at him, you filth monster.
Urine.
Yeah,
Like,
I loved it.
like urine as far as like, I let you piss in my mouth, then I come kiss you.
I love for to piss in my mouth.
No, like you piss in my mouth, and then I come tongue kiss you afterwards.
I never had that done.
Oh,
but
okay.
I love for a woman to piss in my mouth. That's beautiful.
You never had that one done either?
What?
A woman in your mouth.
Yeah, I done had a woman pee in a cup while we was driving, and I drunk it.
Oh, okay. Period.
Right there.
Yes.
Because it was just nothing. I was so infatuated with this woman to where it was just nothing about her that was nasty. Like, and then she's super clean. She like me. She drink number water all day. So this ain't got no taste.
Hell no. You go too far. No one should be that attractive that their waist becomes attractive. Like that's going. What are we doing? What? What are we doing? Ew. From the pimples to that, I'm just disgusted by this man. That turned me completely off. He like what he like. We all have our kinks. Oh, oh. I hope I ain't shunning the kink. I done heard it all. Pissed in a whole cup while he was driving and he drank it. That is grounds for getting pushed out the car while it's moving. You piss in a cup and pass it my way anyhow. To hold it, to do anything. Excuse me? I can pull over right now and you can take all the break you need. But to piss in a cup and certainly pass in my direction, we ain't playing in the same baskets. We ain't playing the same game. That ain't nowhere, nothing I'm interested in at all. So I was like, okay, well, all right, so the next thing is, so now, y'all, we got to talk about this because this dude has lost his fucking mind. So 21 Savage gets into a heated argument on Clubhouse. Now, before I let you hear this argument, preface it with this. YSL being indicted, Young Thug being indicted, and they want them wanting to use his lyrics from his songs, okay? And also, who else? Who else was recently had their lyrics used against them? Not Tory Lanez, because they couldn't bring that in court. Was it DaBaby? Another rapper, a bunch of folks. So, and then you got Jay-Z and Roc Nation trying to push for them not to use it. So then you get nut-ass 21 Savage, who recently fought off a deportation case being related to a crime, come out here and get into a whole fucking argument with what I'm going to call someone who not on his level on Clubhouse on Twitter. And he goes so far as to offer threats. I say, 21 Savage, you can't do shit like this. They are already locking folks up for this. And you see this in these cases. They are using these words against him. And this is not even a song. This is audio that they can use off of social media. Y'all get into some of the vile shit he said. And I was very shocked at this man. Completely shocked. Completely shocked at him. So get into this.
This moment your whole life, so you can argue with a nigga on Clubhouse. You keep letting all these Chicago niggas boost your head up like y'all niggas ain't dying in real life, man. Stop playing.
Then that sounds like a few niggas I know from the rag.
All right, bro.
So you saying y'all undefeated on that side? Y'all ain't took no loss.
Man, every nigga that we beef with, nigga, 30 of they niggas get smoked, nigga, and don't nothing happen to us, nigga. In real life, nigga. It's real life, nigga. Man, hey, look, Cap, you from Chicago. I advise you to shut the fuck up. I advise you to shut the fuck up, cause the niggas that I fuck with out there spanking shit. So stop playing.
All that shit sounds good.
Y'all ain't spanking nothing, nigga.
That's the only thing y'all ever did. That's one nigga. All right, how many? Hey, look. You would die. You would die, nigga. You would die. You would fight
on this.
This man told him, you would die. You would die. You would die. You're offering those words online. Do you not know the kind of weight that carries with someone on your stature, your level? And see, the other part of this is, I honestly didn't think that 21 Savage was involved with street crime to that extent. But when I heard the audio and him talking about every time one of y'all fuck with us, 30 of y'all niggas will get smoked, I'm like, whoa, okay. You get to digging, like, okay, so what is he involved in? And you certainly, if I'm doing it, please believe the feds are watching, bro. What are you doing? And you never let a common Joe Schmo off the street on Clubhouse on some gang talk get you so riled up that you offering threats. You get smoked. You would die. You would die. You better shut up. Whoa. And then we wonder why some rappers get caught up, and then we come out here, please free 21 Savage. Free him. Don't justice for 21 Savage. It's hard to do when you get audio like this, bro. You gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. Rappers, chill. Y'all gotta relax. I know you want to be tough, but it's hard to be tough online because everything is recorded and watched and replayed and reviewed. Be tough in real life. You see these niggas in real conversations, that's the moment. The audio stuff online, it's like, it's cute. It's okay. It's cute for you to be on there and just laugh. You don't see no veterans doing shit like that. Nas ain't getting on nobody Clubhouse arguing. I'm sure he would have got off. What are you doing? You just got a whole album celebrated, still on the top charts. The fuck are you doing? What's going on? So if anything happens, let's say not this year, a couple years from now, and then this audio is replayed again, like, look, Roman is gonna say, look too. Because yeah, this should have never got out here. You are a professional individual. It should have never got out here like this, bro. Be the first person pulling a Meek Mill for the people. Yeah, I'm all about the people, but in your rap songs, you shooting and killing them up. You can't do both speak. You gotta relax. I like he have a sanitary pad hanging up on the rearview mirror in his car. 6 girls, when you run your mouth too much, I'm telling you, when you run your mouth too much, and that's certainly what we're seeing here. So 21 Savage, I would advise you to relax. Now, we're going to get into this last story, Cardi B and Jason fucking Lee. And so before I begin, please, ever so reminder, can y'all like this video? So everybody talking about it. It's gonna be talked about today and probably tomorrow. Cardi B sat down with Jason the motherfucking Lee. She talks about Takeoff's death, plastic surgery, Quavo's song Messy, and a whole bunch of other things. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. There are some things that I want to hear from her, but we have yet to hear. So he leaked some of this on his podcast last night on iTunes, but the actual show does not premiere until Revolt tonight at 10 p.m. So if you want to hear the show, you can go over to iTunes and check out it on his podcast, The Jason Lee Show. But if you want to see the actual her and all that good stuff, you can wait till tonight. But I have some clips I have some approved clips for you that we're going to check into. So first of all, let me just say, she looked mad good. Cardi B was looking really good. She looked really, really fucking good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was looking at her. I was like, oh my gosh, but despite the whatever, she looks good to me. I said, okay. She looks good. I like her look. And then somebody posted some footage of her behind the scenes while she was up there.
Right. She's like, no, don't be shy. Girl.
So shout out to Cardi. Shout out to Cardi. Now listen, okay. King Roman News stands out because I only want to report on news. I don't want to be gossipy. I don't want to be on sides. I want to report the facts. Shit, if you losing, you losing, you losing. So I want to give credit to Jason Lee for taking the Cardi B show interview and as his first interview. I thought that was dope. And then B, being able to produce this into a show on Revolt TV. Now, I thought when I first said, oh, look at you trying to copy our minds. You're going to be back on YouTube. So I had to say, oh, it's going to be a Revolt TV? I said, okay, I got to give you your props. So for that, I give you props because everybody want to get their YouTube show turned into a real show, put on a real network. So I give him props for that. That's about, listen, Jason, you know where I stand. That's about as much as I get. So check out his promo for his show.
Not only is it the first show, but it's probably one of the most important shows that'll go down in history. Please welcome Cardi B. Where were you when you heard Takeoff died? Now, I got a job to do, but there was a song that Quavo had called Miss, and you were quiet.
I never said this, but I'm gonna say it.
People feel like you and I have clicked up.
Y'all don't know us. Y'all don't know us. Y'all know what the is going on.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I tell you this, I do want to know if they touch on Armand and bloggers. Like, will they touch on that topic? And I want to know if she's going to talk about her album dropping. So they said allegedly, and I'm not trying to give any spoilers, but Jason Lee reveals to Cardi B that Rihanna smacked him in front of Kanye West for being too drunk. And that Cardi B speaks on Madonna during her interview at the Jason Lee show. I get a lot of inspiration from Madonna. If I could tell artists one thing, I would tell them to study her career. And I said, oh, that's interesting. But some of the most interesting things that she said was, so she talked about Offset. She talked about when Offset found out about Takeoff when he died and how she had, for both of their phones were ringing, and you know he had went to go pick up his phone. He started screaming no and stuff, and he came and told her Takeoff is dead, and she slapped him and said don't say something like that, and he started throwing up and stuff. So check out what she said about Takeoff regarding Takeoff's death.
I'm supposed to go to Lala's party in New York, and my daughter threw up all over my costume. So me and Offset.
So Halloween was over?
Halloween was over because it was just so much throw up on the costume and I had nothing to wear. So we just fell asleep, and out of nowhere, like Offset's phone kept ringing, my phone kept ringing, and Offset picked up the phone and he's just like, no, and he's screaming and screaming, and like he's screaming like, no. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, Takeoff is dead. And I'm like, and I smacked and I said, don't say that. Like, don't say that. And then he just like screaming and just throwing things, throwing up, running all over. And I was so scared. Like I was just crying so much. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Let me just say this. You can tell she speak in her native tongue, Spanish, a lot, because I was over here like breaking it down. You can tell she speak in her native language. Oh, Cardi B, baby. I hope the interview don't go like that. Here's my thing. I don't want it to go like a jilted interview. Like, I feel like it's very much so. So I'm hoping when I see it tonight, premiere on Revolt TV, that it's flowing. It's giving us some flow. Now, here was another thing. I don't remember if y'all remember on YouTube when messy ass Jason Lee was talking messy shit about Cardi B and her new song. So here's what he said about her new song.
I love Cardi as a friend, but Cardi as an artist, there's no reason to talk about it right now. She's not active. She had one song. I told her I didn't really like the song. I didn't promote the song. So we didn't talk about the song. She hasn't been on my show. She's going to come on my show. She told me recently she's coming on the show. When she comes on the show, then we'll get into everything. We're going to get into this. We're going to get into you because you are a miserable ass hater.
Now, y'all remember that, right? So one, they're going to get into the song, and two, they're going to get into you because you are a miserable ass hater. I said so that they're going to talk about Armand Wiggins and all that good stuff. So I'm expecting that to be a motherfucking shit show tonight. That's why I said this is gonna be video upon video upon video. Now Cardi seemingly responds to Jason Lee as he throws shade at her song, and this is what she said according to her in the interview that dropped tonight.
And that and actually worked on me because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show them that I'm gonna make a rap ass song that is not TikTok this and that. And then I did hot shit, and
Did you like hot shit?
I did like it. I did like you. All right, so another thing, because everybody just be thinking that y'all be kissing my ass and everything. Jason told me, like, I don't like that song.
I ain't gonna lie, it hurt to say that though.
He was like, I just don't fucking like that song. I'm like, okay, I get it.
But were you disappointed at how it performed? Because all your other songs go straight to number 1 or right up there, top 10. Top 5.
It disappointed me, but it's just like a lesson because now I know what not to put in my album or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I mean, I wish it would have done how I wanted it to do, but if it didn't, I moved on to the moved on to.
I'm telling you. Woo, baby. Rosetta. Oof, child of it all. So she responds, I feel like I feel like she, based off these clips that I'm showing y'all, I think she likes Jason Lee. It's giving the appearance that they have some connection, some relationship they repaired over the time. Because before, remember, she was fucking with Armand Wiggins. She was rocking with Armand Wiggins, and everyone thought that he stole the interview from her. And seemingly on this promo, she came out like, no, everybody think, well, y'all don't know about us. And so it's like, oh, so you rocking with Cardi. And so now everybody throwing daggers at Armand about that's why you should have rocked with Nicki. You shouldn't disrespect Nicki. And now Nicki don't want to fuck with you. Nicki ain't gonna throw you no shots or nothing like that. And Armand is like, I think in his mind, it's like it don't matter. For him, this is his job. This is his gig. So it ain't about linking up with nobody. But Cardi gave him his first shout out. She shouted him out on something. But y'all remember that shout out. She shouted him out and he feels like that's some love. Nicki ain't never shouted him out except to throw shade on her tweet, and Nicki threw shade on him when he was talking shit about her. So for me, I honestly feel Cardi B and Jason Lee are tight, period. I don't think Cardi B intentionally wants to throw shade at Armand, but Jason Lee definitely does. So y'all gonna see that shit tonight. And when y'all watch the interview on Revolt TV, 10 p.m., he's gonna definitely try to throw shade because he feels like he's sitting on a throne. And she's gonna try, I promise you, mark my words, she's gonna sit there and try to be so, but the shade is gonna be given. And I'm gonna be very interested to see what his response is gonna be. I'm gonna be interested also to see what does she have to say about her competition. Now, notice I say competition and not Nicki Minaj. I do not expect this interview, and I do not expect a significant portion of this interview to be focused on Nicki Minaj. Please, Jason Lee, stay in your lane, bruh. Do not focus your interview on Nicki Minaj. Now, I could see a topic about her competition because there's a lot of other females at your competition. But don't focus on Nicki. She ain't fucking with y'all. She worried about her album right now. She is in studio mode, album mode right now. What you need to be asking her is when her album fucking dropping. Everybody talking about Cardi's album's about to drop. Well, I'm interested to know, Cardi. I ain't hating or nothing. I just want you to. I want to hear you drop it. So everything tells me this is promo for something. Cardi is very intentional. She's not out here sitting on no Jason Lee's channel and nothing is coming of it. Because she know all the bloggers, all of us YouTubers are watching the report. And it's going to be valuable stuff for if she has good PR, it's going to be valuable stuff for her to report. She going to make sure that she gets certain stuff in, like how this Offset stuff. And then she goes in on one point where she's talking too much about fucking Offset, where she's like, no. I'm going to let him talk about this because what was the main thing that really was bothering me? I'm going to let him say it. And she was talking about when she filed for a divorce from Offset initially, and then he changed up, and she was talking about the one thing that he changed. And she's like, I want him to say it because I really feel like that's a part of his story. The main thing that I wanted to stop and everything, he stopped. He changed, and it showed me that he wanted to change for me. So clearly, we know Offset will be on the show in the future. Jason Lee's gonna be sitting down with Offset, and Offset's gonna give us a story about Takeoff, and so be looking forward to that exclusive. I read between the lines very carefully. So I'm by, again, I have no skin in the game, but from somebody who enjoys this entertainment, I'm excited to see Miss Cardi B sitting down and having a conversation. It's about time. Talk about it, sis. What you got to say? Say it on your mind. You know, I'm a barber all day, but I'm definitely fair. Like say that shit. Say it say it like you mean it. I want to know the tea, but just don't make this shit about Nicki Minaj. That's where we're gonna go wrong. That's where it's gonna go left for me. Y'all gonna find me up here tomorrow, like, exactly like I said, a whole fucking interview about Nicki Minaj. And that's not what I want to happen. I see so much for her at this point. He better say he was reciting Dipset lyrics from Crunk Music. You will die. You lie in a pool full of ish. I'm telling you, 21 better be very fucking careful. Good morning, Charles. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming through. Alfreda, good morning. Good morning. I'm not a Jason Lee fan, but he is doing a very good job on The Breakfast Club. His chemistry with DJ Envy and Charlamagne is surprisingly on point. I did get a chance to watch him, though. Yeah, he got good chemistry, but he be lying. He is all. I feel like he tells a lot of stories to make put himself in a good light. Bruh, tell the truth. Like, I'm sitting there listening to this interview. I'm like, okay, is that factual? And then he, goes and tells this whole story how Rihanna slapped him in front of Kanye for being so drunk. So, I gotta watch him. I gotta watch him case by case for me because I don't know. But I will stay tuned, y'all. I'm gonna stay tuned and watch it. Thank y'all for being here this morning. Let me see. We cover all our stories. Kevin Gates, Cardi B, TJ Holmes, Darius, and 21 Savage. Yes. And if you are part of the replay crew and you made it this far, thank you so, so much. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Show me some love this morning. I hope y'all have a great day. As always, I'm trying to figure out if I want to recap all these stories. We went through so many stories this morning. So, yeah, we talked about Darius Miles, the University of Alabama basketball player which is a sad story. This man had his whole entire life ahead of him, but instead of him just doing the right thing, he ends up mad and rejected because Jamia Harris rejects his plea because she's out on the strip with her boyfriend in town visiting for her boyfriend. So the two suspects have been arrested, and I played the little clip of him and his.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
Sickening. So this man's whole life has gone down the drain. I also talked about the woman who froze to death along with her two young sons, and you got to get that story earlier in the live. But apparently, this woman had been struggling with some mental health issues. Families didn't witness the sign. Families did not call 911 either. Please hit the replay so you can catch that story. The daughter, 10-year-old daughter, walks to the nearest place. After they woke up the next day, the daughter was the only one who woke up, walks, and that's how this story picks up. So please hit that replay. The third story we talked about was this deaf woman who was found in New York City after living on the subway for 3 weeks. Now, it's crazy because she left her family's home the day before Christmas, and somehow she fell outside in 18-degree weather. A man picked her up, took her to the nearest hospital. That hospital released her that same day, which was Christmas Eve at 2 a.m., out onto the streets. And for 2 weeks, because she was deaf and nonverbal, she had just been roaming the streets. And so the family finally, 2 days ago, was able to capture her. So y'all got to catch the details of that story. And I'm glad she's came home. That was earlier part of the live. We talked about this Missouri man who he offed his wife and in-laws because they wouldn't leave his home. You got to catch that crazy one at the beginning of this live. We also talked about how the woman arrested for stabbing boyfriend for wetting the bed in Louisiana. Now, they have been out all night long partying, comes home, they're in the bed, She feels Warren P, and she goes off. And at her part of going off is stabbing him. So I put more details in the earlier part. You got to get into that. We also talked about this Philadelphia woman who was shot in riding an Uber because not only was they facing road rage, but she got an Uber driver who's tolerating it and trying to move her around as well. And so she was shot in her thigh. He actually drove her to the hospital. So you got to check that out at the beginning. And I also kicked off Hot Topics with TJ Holmes. Baby, how allegedly, now this is all allegedly, okay, how TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, they out. Baby, ABC said, look, we done. Y'all too much of a distraction. So in lieu of that, they're lawyering up, and they're lawyering up under the auspices that this is a race. They're pulling the race card. They're invoking the morals clause and saying that this wouldn't be the same if I was a white anchor. And remember, I said I originally thought this was a sexist thing, that they were treating Amy Robach differently than them treating him because of a man. But he's saying he's saying it's a racist thing because your treatment of me wouldn't be the same as a white man, instead of him focusing on that white woman. Why they doing you different than her? She didn't know different than anybody else. She slept with you. You're her coworker. They should be investigating who else she slept with there too. But y'all got to get into that replay of what we talked about earlier. I also got into this nasty Kevin Gates and his fetishes. We examined his fetish for pimples and then recently his fetish for urine. And at this point, it's lost for me. I don't even want to hear the lyrics of your new music. We talked about 21 Savage and how 21 Savage got into a heated argument on Clubhouse. Ridiculous. Okay. And in that argument, he tells the guy he's gonna, you're gonna die. We smoke 30. Every time somebody on our team gets smoked, we smoke 30 of y'all. Who's smoking? What? Wait, what? Huh? Notes. You used to, how many people and where was this at? Feds are watching, bro. You are not that safe just because you just released the album with Drake. Drake ain't that powerful. Y'all gonna stop thinking Drake is God. That's what y'all gonna stop doing. You think Drake got you? You think Drake got your back, don't you? Drake ain't got your back. And then I ended this show on Cardi B interview with Jason Lee. Now the actual interview does not come out until the Jason Lee show premieres tonight on Revolt TV at 10 p.m. And we will be here to talk about that early in the morning. Again, I thought she looked. I gotta give props where they do. I thought she looked really, really good. So shout out to her and shout out to Jason Lee for getting his show moved from YouTube and on to a streaming platform. Because initially, I was saying, what you gonna do, another YouTube show under another name? Like what? But no, you upstage it. Okay, so I'm watching. I'll stay tuned. And shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for being here this morning. I really, really appreciate it. Listen, if you didn't catch the earlier part of the live, I did go into an MLK session, and I specifically focused on Martin Luther King's message around economic disparities, because I want us to stay tuned to our own economic disparities. Look at how far it takes you to travel to your nearest grocery store. Look at how far you travel to find dining at healthy restaurants. Look at what your doctors and your medical healthcare practitioners, look at some of the advice they give you. Are they giving you the advice based on what you can pay, or are they giving you advice based on your quality? All of that goes into economic disparities. You can afford cheap healthcare, but you need quality healthcare. So look at a lot of those add to this huge economic disparity we're facing. It's a $220 billion annual disparity between Black wages today and what they would be in a scenario of full parity. So I talked about that at the beginning of the live, and it was really important to me because I missed Dr. Martin Luther King yesterday due to my own, I was having a bad day yesterday. I overextended myself. Got to catch that at the beginning of the live. And then we talked about this statue and how, Boston resurrected this statue based off of Martin Luther King's hug with Coretta Scott King. However, people said it looked like a penis. And as you see more of the statue, it's like the only way you can really see it is from above. And who's standing that high of a statue? And so they spent $10 million on resurrecting that in Boston. So I talked about that at the opening of the show. So thank y'all for being here. I really, really do appreciate it. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the crew. Hey, Miss Toby. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for dropping down. TJ Holmes replacement, though. TJ Holmes replacement, DeMarco got it. That's his job. Now, I need him to take note. I need him to see the lesson. I need him not to get caught up in no more Amy's. If you see, even if somebody walk in that bitch and her name Amy something, you need to just be like, you know what? Bitch, I'm good. Don't get caught up in none of this. Stay clean. You can finesse your way to an Oprah Lane, a Tamra Hall. Anybody can, but just stay clean. Do your job. Don't be schmoozing and coozing, and certainly with none of your coworkers. Okay. And yes, you have a great day, Journey. You too. A waste of $10 million. They could have had given me that. Okay. All right, y'all. So before you know, I already know y'all gonna be like Roman, but hey, I just want to drive the message home. So before I leave on our theme song, I'm going to play the message again that I played at the beginning of my live from MLK. Please get into this disparity message on economics. It's really a good message, and I'll be right back.
That the problems of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical redistribution of political and economic power.
We read one day, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if a man doesn't have a job or an income, he has neither life nor liberty and the possibility for the pursuit of happiness. He merely exists. That we spend $322,000 for each enemy we kill in Vietnam, while we spend in the so-called war on poverty in America $53 for each person classified as poor. The other thing I want you to understand is this, that it didn't cost the nation one penny to integrate lunch counters. It didn't cost the nation one penny to guarantee the right to vote. But now we are dealing with issues that cannot be solved without the nation spending billions of dollars and undergoing a radical redistribution of economic power. Yes. All labor has dignity.
Yes.
But you're doing another thing. You are reminding not only Memphis, but you are reminding the nation that it is a crime for people to live in this rich nation and receive starvation wages.
Amen, somebody. So, on that note, I say, okay, be more informed about your choices. Please try to support Black-owned businesses. You know, at least once a week. I try my hardest to do it at least once a week, if not almost like multiple times. And when you go to the store, look for some Black-owned products. We got a power in our dollars. Let's use it. We ain't just about, you know, the mess and all of this stuff. Use your power. Your first power start with that dollar bill in your pocket. Choose wisely what you spend it on. And thank y'all for being here, crew. I hope y'all hit that like button. I hope y'all gave me some love today. We covered a lot of stuff. You know, really, it was a really good show. I enjoyed it today. I did. Thank y'all. Because I had a bad day yesterday. If y'all heard the beginning of this live, I just did not. I had an attitude, a whole attitude. You have a good day too, Jerde. Thank you for being here too. Amy replaced Karen. Listen, on some real shit, y'all better watch out for them Amy's. Y'all better watch out for them Amy's. I'm gonna start watching out for some Amy's. You gonna be like, bitch, are you pulling an Amy robot? Don't blame all the Amy's. Ain't DeMarco. Now listen, DeMarco just posted a picture like maybe a couple hours ago to his Instagram. It's a new picture of him. You can search it in Google. And that picture, yes, he gives me girl tease. Although everybody's oohing over it, saying he looks so good, he looks so fine. I was trying to pull it up for y'all, but the video was playing. I didn't want the internet to go off because my internet's been good, but I think he wanted the girls, if you ask me. But I don't want to speculate, and they always say we trying to make somebody gay. So all I know is that man is a straight man with a woman until proven otherwise. All I can do is assume internally. My God, he was taken too soon, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Have a beautiful day too, Kings Mina. Thank you. Took that man because he was becoming powerful and trying to move the movement to economic power. Absolutely, wasn't he? You too, Alfreda. Thank you. Just Andrea, thank you for coming through. Brick Girl, thank you. Thank you. And you have a good day too, Brick Girl. All right, y'all. Y'all drop some crowns for me if y'all in here still and y'all about to, y'all in the bushes. Crew, if y'all in the bushes, drop some crowns for me as we get out. I'm about to head out of here and start my day, walk my baby before I start my job. And I will see y'all again in the morning. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate so much and the love on the likes. I really, really do. Drop crowns and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces. Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman news gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman news.
Good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman news. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman news, coming just for you. King Roman news, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman news, King Roman news. Let's go.